Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to Rap Ministries. That's Reaching All People Ministries. And I'm Brother Yirmiyahu, a.k.a. Brother Ronnie. Thank you for coming on in today, family. Get that out of the way. Case. For my glasses. But just thank everybody for coming on in today. Because if you hear the sound of my voice, like I say always, you are in the land of the living. A lot of people didn't make it. Got chaos going on in Palestine today, all week long. We're going to hit on that a little bit in today's class. Guys, just thank everybody for being here. Blessed to be alive, breathing the Most High oxygen. We see you, auntie. Thank you for coming on in. Thank you for coming on in today. Peace and blessings to you and your household. Sure appreciate it. Zolma, Bone Teeth. Oh yeah, like we should have doubts about things that ain't even wrote in the Bible. we just make them be in there. Erica Yashel, Elder. Thank you for coming today. Sister Erica Yashel and Elder Henry, double honor to the elders. Mama J Pope, Mother Pope, thank you for coming on in today. Present today and thankful to be here. Well, all right, we glad you're here. We're thankful that you are here. G-Mac, thank you for coming on in, brother. Good to see you. Sterling Silver, thank you for coming on in today, brother Sterling. Tried by fire, Sterling Silver. Yeah. Oh boy. Key to Life, North Carolina crew. Shabbat Shalom to you as well. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming on in today. Woo! Got one hot off the presses today for you. Your niece, baby Charlotte, Warrior Caleb in the house. Thank you for coming on in today, guys. I sure appreciate everybody is today. Thank you for coming on in. Hey, Ohio crew too. Bree, thank you for coming on in today. Sure appreciate you. Thank you for coming on in today, sister. Okay. You said if anything goes left. She said she apologized to the fan, but thank you for sharing it. Mama C8. Thank you for coming on in. Louis Donis. A long time no see from. I mentioned you last week. You said, just saying that you guys was from Connecticut. You was a Connecticut crew. All right, and here you are today. All right, good to see you. Let's see what we got. So, guys, we got a great lesson for you today. And it's just a blessing to be amongst the people of the Most High. Looking forward one day for all those that I haven't seen. Woody Security, I just saw you. I overlooked you. All right. Said learning, the book is open. Yeah, keep it open. But Woody Security. And I apologize for being a minute or so late. Technology, I hope it don't act up during the class. The devil, he always love to act up when you're gonna expose some stuff. He love to act up. But thank everybody for coming on in, the Dunez family, him and Sister Wanda. Really glad to see you guys today. But I'm gonna decrease that he might increase. Just a lot going on in the world. We all see it. The whole world, they eyes over there, looking to the land over there. We gonna see about that today. We gonna see. Not nothing. I don't get into all that, you this and you that, but we gonna tell the truth today. Let me decrease that he might increase. Let me put it on this age. Okay. Slideshow. from the start. And like I always say, guys, don't be distracted by everything that's going on around you. You make sure that you stay in the Most High's word, and you keep His law, statutes, and commandment, no matter what everybody else doing. I teach my kids. I don't care if everybody doing wrong in your class at school. You do right. You do right. Turn this music off. Oh. All right. Let me turn that music off. And we're going to pray. We're going to get on into the class. Into the class. Yeah, Brianni, tell them. Hit that like button. Oh, there they go. There they go. Shalom, Yehuda. Brother Jeff. Thank you for coming on in today. You and Pam, I am. Always a pleasure to see you. Always a pleasure to see you. A blessing to see you. Blessing to see everybody that's in the house today. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. But we're gonna pray. We're gonna get on into the lesson today. Abba, Heavenly Father, we just thank you for today, your holy Sabbath day, the day you hung in creation many millennia ago. Father, we just thank you for all of your people that came to hear the word today. And we thank you that you will bless them. You will edify them. You will change them for the better in their lives. Father, we just also thank you that today they will not only be hearers of the word, but they will be doers of the word, because hearers get faith, but doers get results. Father, right now, we just thank you right now that the enemy is bound, doomed, damned, and defeated, and we cast out any negative thing that would try to rear its ugly head. We thank you that it is called, we squash it right now. Father, we just thank you right now that you alone will get all the praise, all the honor, all the glory. Do your mighty name, and your ruach will flow through me to cause me to minister life unto your people. Father, we just thank you for being king of all the universe. And we just pray all of these things in the precious mighty name of your son, Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen. Amen. Let's get on in this, guys. What we talking about today? What we talking about today? There is no pre-tribulation rapture. There is no pre-tribulation rapture, even though it's being taught out there. You know, I found this little picture. It said the pre-tribulation rapture is a lie from the devil. We're going to see today. We shall see today. We see you, Sister Sheila. Thank you for coming on in today. Thank you for coming on in today. You right on time, sister. You right on time. Thank you for coming on in. Just really, truly appreciate everybody that's here on today. And I decided to do this class because we know what's in the news. And anytime that, anything that goes on really significant in the land over there in the East, everybody get the rapture stuff start coming up. Oh, here we go. So I got calls this week. What do you think about? And what do you think about this? What does this mean for end time prophecies? I'm going to share with you some of the things that I believe. Not saying that it is what it is. Not a prophet. I claim never to be a prophet. I am a preacher and a teacher. That's what I am. A preacher and a teacher. I'm just a student of this Bible. But I got a quick video for us, and I'm gonna apologize on the front end. We got about 4 videos in here that you're gonna watch. They're not long, but they go with the lesson. We're not gonna watch them all back to back, but they'll be dispersed out in there. And I was like, man, I really hate to, but it really goes with the class. But this is what is reported in fair use. I do not own what I'm getting ready to show you. I don't own it. But we got where I can use it for teaching, for clarification. You see the FBI warning. But this is going on. This is what was reported where I live, here in Memphis, Tennessee. Just local news. And condolences to Janet Hook. Y'all don't know who she is. She was a former councilman here in Tennessee. She passed, and it just happened to be up there.
So please, think of us not just as that headline, but we're people, we're families, and we want to meet our families again.
Yeah, we have families separated, more than 2,000 people dead, and thousands more injured or missing. This is a live look in Israel as that war rages on. Overnight, Israeli strikes demolished entire neighborhoods in the Gaza Strip. And this morning, we're hearing more from people from the Mid-South who are stranded in the war-torn country.
Stranded, wow.
Sheila O'Connor joining us now live.
Why were they there? We're going to see.
Several people who went to Israel, including one man who, he and his wife at least, are still there. They can't get out.
And they don't know when they'll be able to come home. Anytime flights become available, they quickly fill up. I'm talking about Andy Groveman. He has been in Israel with his wife since the end of September. It was initially his whole family, so him, his wife, his kids, they were there to celebrate the Jewish holiday of Sukkot. And that holiday ended on Saturday. That was the last day of the holiday. That's also when those surprise attacks from Hamas happened. Now, Groveman and his wife are staying in an apartment there in Israel, and that does have a safe room. And he tells me that anytime a siren's
tanks rolling through there,
in 20 seconds to get into that safe room, and then they're there for about 10 minutes until those sirens stop blaring, giving the all clear that it's safe for now to come out. He also told me that they don't really travel far from their apartment because they don't know when another attack may happen. Right now, he's thankful that his children were finally able to get out of Israel, but for him and his wife, they don't know when they'll be able to leave.
We're here day to day, and it's the situation. It's probably going to get worse here because Hamas continues to fire rockets, and Israel has to put an end to this threat once and for all.
Of course, we know he's not the only Memphian stuck there in Israel. I also spoke to a Mid-South pastor who narrowly made it out of the war-torn country the day those attacks from Hamas happened. You'll hear from him coming up in the next 30 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, good work out there, and thank you for sharing their stories.
It's almost over, just about 30 more seconds or so.
With Israel, the Memphis Jewish Federation is hosting the event today at 5.
It says solidarity with Israel.
We will have live coverage tonight on Fox 13 News at 5. Well, this morning.
Yeah, so we see what's going on over there in what they call Israel today. You know, the Israeli Hamas, why are they doing what they doing? Brother Ronnie, what side are you? What side are you on? I'm on the side of innocent people that are being killed, kidnapped, raped, murdered, on whatever side that it may be on. But the thing is, everybody, oh, Hamas, they're doing this, they're doing that. I'm gonna tell you, they ain't nothing but like a modern day equivalent of when Israel was under Roman occupation. You had people called the Zechariah and people called the Zealots. Well, one of Yeshua's disciples was a zealot, and they wanted to fight Rome. Get out of here. Why? Because this our land. We want you up out of here. That's what Hamas, and the Zealots and the Zechariah, they were wrong in what they were doing, and you're going about it in the wrong way. And then you got the Israelis on their side. We gotta get rid of them and smash them out. But you're gonna smash out the people, trying to get a small percentage of the people. Told them you got 24 hours to get out. 24 hours to get out. Get 1 point. I don't know if y'all know how small Gaza is. And North Gaza, they telling them you go down to what? South Gaza, and you got 24 hours. 1.1 million people got that. That's not justice, folks. That's not justice. Everybody getting killed. Everybody getting murdered. The media is very one-sided. And brother, you for Hamas? No, I'm not for no Hamas. But I'm for the innocent Palestinian people. I'm for the innocent boys, girls, mothers. I'm for them. But why is this? What's going on? Why is this happening? People got to understand, why is this happening? If you see the picture up there, before 1948, You know, that's when they said, oh, God's chosen people back in the land. As you can see right here, right there, the green represent the Palestinians. They held Israel, what they call Israel today. Look at that. And the Jewish states are the little white dots. And there's time. So when 1947, the UN, you know, the United Nations and Great Britain, all these countries and stuff, they coming up with some agreements and all that kind of stuff. Guess what? Palestinian land shrunk. And over time, up to, this is a one up to 2012, it's probably smaller now, probably closer to about the same. But look, green versus white right there. Look at it. That's why these people were living there way before the people that came in there that are Israelis. They was there first. But, you know, they claim that they're the ancient people of the book. But we're going to take you through it a little bit. The Balfour, a lot of people don't know what, you ask them, what's the Balfour Declaration? They don't know nothing about no Balfour Declaration. Yeah, everything that happens is the Most High's will that's going on, but it's cause and effect for everything. But the Balfour Declaration was in 1970. We're gonna read a little bit of this. Brothers and sisters, Britannica, Wikipedia, those links, they are your friends. Read sometimes. Pick books up. We don't want to read. What Balfour Declaration, November 2nd, 1917, statement of British support for the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people. It says, and the letter was from Arthur James Balfour, the British Foreign Secretary, to Lionel Walter Rothschild, the second Baron Rothschild, a leader of the Anglo-Jewish community. Though the precise meaning of the correspondence has been disputed, its statement was generally contradictory to both the Sykes-Picot Agreement, a secret convention between Britain and France, and Hussein McCann correspondence and exchange of letters between the British High Commissioner in Egypt, Henry McCann, and you know, those are who the agree. You see that backdoor deals are going in. What they trying to do is we trying to get our people. We trying to get the Jewish people that were in Europe. We trying to get them into Israel. But watch this. It says the Balfour Declaration, issued through the continued efforts of Chaim Weizmann and Nahum Sokolow, Zionist leaders in London, fell short of the expectation of the Zionists, who asked for the reconstitution of Palestine as the Jewish national home. They said, we want this to be, Zionists said, we want this to be our spot. Although there's somebody already there. It says, the declaration specifically stipulated that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine. The document, however, said nothing of the political or national rights of these communities and did not refer to them by name. You know, those Palestinians. We're going to go over here and we're going to take that. We just going to take the land. Nevertheless, the declaration aroused enthusiastic hopes among Zionists and seemed the fulfillment of the aims of the World Zionist Organization, see Zionism. The British government hoped that the declaration would rally Jewish opinion, especially in the United States, to the side of the Allied powers. What are the Allied powers? You know, America, Britain, France, those kind of places. It says against Central powers, Arab powers during World War I. They also hoped that the settlement of Palestine but you see what they trying to do. They were trying to, this was happening in 1917. That's to get the wheels going. But when they did let them get in there, the Arab, we had the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. Palestine, they weren't going, well, wait a minute, hold on. You can't just, it's all over that land. Both sides say it's ours. So the 1948 Palestine War was fought in the territory of what had been at the start of the war, British rule mandatory Palestine. Y'all don't realize Great Britain got They got land everywhere. Go watch that Sunday and Swine class we did. We showed a lot of that. Sunday and Swine. We see you. Yeah, them Rothschilds. I'm gonna try to be careful, try not to get my channel struck down. Try to be, Brother Runny don't hate nobody. I'm like the Most High. I'm not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to the knowledge of the truth. That's in I believe 1st or 2nd Peter. I don't hate nobody. It says, so you see that the 1948 war. Yeah, we're not gonna go into all of this, but then they had another one in 1967. They call it the 6-Day War. They even had one in 2006. I didn't put it in here, but these two sides been going at it one year after year, over the years since the 40s, possibly longer. But it says in 2021 it was another crisis. And here we are today. So, but every single time, especially for the one in 2006, 2021, and 2023, and other little conflicts or whatnot, these just the big famous ones. People always say, "Oh, the rapture." That's why we do. That's why I just got to go and do this class. I hit on it a little bit in my Revelation series. You can watch volume 4 and 5 to get the basic brunt of some of the things. But here we are today. Hamas. I don't know if y'all, man, Gaza is a smart man. It's just wrong all the way around. Wrong all the way around. But the thing would be, the Most High said, whenever Israel is back in the land, there would be peace. There has been everything but peace over there. So, according to the Bible, who does the gathering? Who does the gathering? Let's go to Ezekiel 30. There's other verses, but I'm just going to stick to Ezekiel chapter 37, verses 15 to 28. In the word of Moses, it said, I will be their God, they will be my people. That's the caption. That's over. Before oh boy, y'all stick in here. Yeah, they saying World War III. That's what they saying. It says, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah. That's the southern house. And for the children of Israel, his companions, the northern house. Then take another stick and write upon it for who? Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, for all the house of Israel, his companions. Most High gonna put them all back together. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by this? Say unto them, thus saith the Most High, your Elohim, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, because Ephraim was a half Israelite, half Egyptian. Their mother, I think her name was Asenath, she was an Egyptian. And the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and put them with him, even the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. And the sticks whereupon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord thy God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, among the nations. Now, not some of them, not just the Jews, because the word Jew, it comes from Yehuda, Judah. The children of Israel would call the children of Israel under Judah, they would call Jews. When the houses broke off, the northern house kept the name Israel. Then the southern house, they would call Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They were the southern house, and they were called Jews. The southern house would call what? Jews. And you ask the Israel people that say they Israel today, you ask them, what tribe are you? Well, we don't know what tribes we from. That's not all of Israel. It says, and say unto them, thus saith the Most High, and that's one reason why the rapture doctrine was created. Y'all gonna see it. It says, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side. And he said, I will, not Great Britain, not France, not with the help of the Rapture. He didn't say that. He said, I will take the children of Israel from under heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. Let's see what happens when they're in there. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be to the... Ain't no king over there. Benjamin Netanyahu ain't no king. He a prime minister. And there shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols. Nor with their detestable things. We know they doing detestable things out. The biggest letter people parade, no aspersions on anyone. But according to the Bible, that's an abomination. It says, nor with any of their transgressions. Is the sin still going over there today? But I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God. And David, my servant, shall be king over them. Not David reincarnated. It just simply means the seed of David. And they shall have one shepherd. Do they got one shepherd? They shall also walk in my judgment and observe my statutes and what? And do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever, and my servant David shall be their prince forever. Is he? Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant, and I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. My tabernacle, is it with them? Also shall be with them. Yea, I will be their God, and they shall be my people, and the heathen shall know that I, the Most High, do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. When does this sanctuary get established? When the Messiah returns. All you gotta do is go to the next chapter, Ezekiel 38, and read all the way through the rest of the book. Tells you all about it. But Yeshua, who over there in the land today? Let's ask him. This is when Yeshua was telling them about, the destruction of Jerusalem. He says, and when you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be, and everybody said, this is the time that the Gentiles get in. We in the times of the Gentiles, but who's in Jerusalem? And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. The times of the Gentiles is not over. We got people that are not Hebrew Israelites coming over to the ways of the Most High. Gentiles. That's who in the land today. Everybody over there, Gentiles. Now, I should preface this. There are some people that's over there. Now, they underground. They keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and they believe in Yeshua HaMashiach. Them Hebrews right there. There are some there. But if you're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandment, and believing in his son that he died and rose again, you're not an Israelite. You're not. I don't care what color you are, whether red, bright, black, yellow, polka dot, purple. If you ain't keeping them commandments, you are not an Israelite. But Gentiles, don't let me just tell you. I said, I'm not going to get into that all today. I'm just trying to tell you that you can't believe everything the news media portraying to you. This is from the Jewish Almanac. The Jews admit they are not the descendants of the ancient Israelites in their writings. I got about 25 publications where I can prove that. I might do a class on that one day. This is just one of them right here. Not me saying, we're going to let them tell you. It says, under the heading of a brief history of the terms Jew, in the 1980 Jewish Almanac is the following. Strictly speaking, it is incorrect. It is what? Incorrect, not right, wrong to call an ancient Israelite a Jew. Why? Because they weren't all called that. Only the tribe of Judah was called that. Watch this. Or to call a contemporary or a modern day Jew an Israelite or a Hebrew. I'm gonna leave that there. I ain't here to get into all that. I'm here to cast down a doctrine. You said do that class. Oh, okay. I'll think about doing that. You know, I had to be careful. I don't want my channel getting shut down, even though I got a backup one, you know, a backup channel. But, you know, they just, boy, I'm trying to tell you, people don't know this. They just hear, that's like me just calling myself something and I just be that. You know, they do that these days. You know, I'm a man, but you know what? I'm a woman. They just call it and everybody believe it. Yeah, you can call him him, he, she, whatever you want to call him. You know, no aspersion. Love everybody. But I believe that everybody has to follow this. I believe that. I have patience. I have long suffering towards people, and I minister life to them. If they take it, they take it. If they don't, they don't. Everyday life, they need something. They fall down and hurt themselves. I'm going to help them up. I don't care what they are. I don't care what color they are. Somebody hurt, wounded. I don't care who it is. I'm going to help them. But let's get to this rapture stuff, because these are the four ways of people looking at it. You know, you got your post-tribulation rapture. That's when Yeshua HaMashiach returns after the tribulation. That's what I believe. Then you got your pre-tribulation, where they said right before the tribulation. You know, we ain't gonna be here for the Antichrist. We're not gonna be here. We're not gonna be here for that. That's what they say. Then you have post millennialism. They believe that he returns after the millennium. I don't even get that one. And amillennialism, they just say everything's symbolic. We just know he coming back. All right. But where did this doctrine, pre-tribulation doctrine, come from? I'm gonna give you guys some other resources that you can go to that I came across over the years, and you'll be able to use it too, right? So you can go and purchase it for yourself. But it comes from this guy named Manuel de Lacunza. He was a Jesuit priest who was born in Santiago, Chile, expelled from Chile and moved to Italy, began to study prophecy, and 20 years later, he wrote what you see to your right. He is the person that came up with this pre-tribulation stuff, or became the person that all of this stuff wound up, and he lived in the 1500s. 1500s? That's 1,500 years after Yeshua HaMashiach. So this guy was very, very, he played a heavy role in this next guy we're going to show you. His name is Edward Irving. He lived from 1792 to 1834. He was basically influenced by this guy, Manuel de Lacunza. You believe in the pre-tribulation rapture, you're a follower of this guy. And this guy, Edward Irving. Let's read this. This came out of his book right here. It says, from these words, the apostles, which he himself gives us now, because Edward Irving translated this from Latin into English. And if you want it, I will send, it's 2 volumes. I will send you both volumes. I just email it to you if you would like it. It says, It's really a waste of time reading it, but you know, it says, from these two words of the apostle, which he himself gives us now, that he spoke by the word of the Lord, we derive two truths of the uttermost importance. First, that when the Lord returns from heaven to earth, he said, when he returns from what? Heaven to earth. When he returns from heaven to earth, he says, upon his coming forth from heaven, and much more his arrival at the earth. So he's describing two comings. One, when he just catch everybody up, take them to heaven, and then after a while, he comes back again. That's what that is saying. But let's look at this right here. And this guy, Edward Irving, he just went all the way. But this guy, Lacunza, this is another thing he says. He said, although it was said at the beginning of the 4th section of this book that it is uncertain how long the great and terrible day of the Lord's coming will endure, that it is the commotion, perturbation, and agitation of our globe. Yet, having now read with greater reflection the 12th chapter of the prophet Daniel, it appeared to me that it cannot endure a shorter time than a space of 45 natural days. Now he said it's 45. That the day of. At first he was saying, I don't know. Now he's saying it's 45 days, natural days. Let's go on. It said, let's go to this one. This guy, Edward, loved this guy so much that he called him what? His worthy master, Ben Ezra, because that's the pseudonym that Manuel de Lacunza went under. He was passing himself off as a Jewish rabbi. Passing himself off as a Jew. So that ought to tell you, maybe I shouldn't believe if all of this stuff is started in conjecture and speculation and deceitfulness, I shouldn't be up in this stuff. Mind you, nobody, we're going to show you some church fathers way later on. None of them taught it. Martin Luther, John Calvin, none of them taught it. But these dudes did, and the people today do. It says, here you go right here. It said, perceiving well that my worthy master Ben Ezra and his own had in his own right nothing to expect but the most vehement abuse and ridicule of his opinions. He said, because he know wasn't nobody going for this. Wasn't nobody going for this. He said, I know y'all gonna be ridiculing me and talking about me and casting aspersions on me, but my worthy master Ben Ezra, aka Manuel de Lacunza, he went through it too. He says, and in my company still more I weighed well how I might obtain for him a fair hearing from the church, which has become review-ridden to a most alarming degree. It said, and having well meditated this matter and besought the guidance of the Lord, he said he sought the guidance of the Lord about this pre-tribulation stuff. I was directed to send a goodly portion of the work, what we read now, when printed to the ministers and members of the Church of Christ. So everything that he got from Manuel de Lacunza, he's sending it to the Church of Christ, members of the Church of Christ, who should seem to me the most honorable, simple-minded, and single-eyed before the Lord, in order that the blasphemers for fair and honest truth might be prevented from prejudicing the easy, drowsy, lukewarm church against the best gifts which have been offered to her in these latter times. He said, I'm telling y'all, we just gonna, but the clips that I'm getting ready to show you about this dude, Edward Irving, which we just read about, comes from this. I think I got it over here. This has been out a while, probably been out over 10 years. It's called, you can go here and buy and purchase this yourself, called www.leftbehind.com. They do a 2.5 hour study into this and documentation showing you how all this stuff came out to be. It's A1. I bought this probably about 7 years ago. 7 years ago, because I was like, man, this ain't right. What's all this going on? I know it ain't right. But let's watch. Fair use. I don't own this. This comes from here. So let's listen to it. They're going to explain it better than that little babbling I just did.
Teacher in Scotland and England in the 1820s and the early 1830s before his untimely death. Irvingite scholar Mark Patterson, who wrote his doctoral dissertation on Irving and the Irvingites, as well as a book on the Irvingite influence on dispensationalism and pre-trib eschatology, made these important comments.
Edward Irving was a Scottish pastor. He studied under some of the bright and best Chalmers up in Scotland.
Who was done that? I see
he
that.
came down to London in 1825, actually a little bit earlier, to pastor what was called the Caledonian Chapel. And so he was a Presbyterian pastor in London and was an enigma in a lot of ways. He was brilliant, but he also was reckless. He was a master of theology, but went off the deep end in some areas of theology. I would say that Edward Irving is the most influential person in eschatology in the early 19th century and really beyond, because my premise is that he initiated ideas that form the foundation of modern pre-tribulation eschatology.
There's no doubt that Irving was quite influenced by Lacunza, who, as we've seen, was not a converted Jew, as he falsely claimed, but a Jesuit priest who taught, in essence, a second and third coming of Christ.
This can be said, that the influence of Ribera Lacunza, while uncertain, what I think it did is spark Irving to think in new ways of interpreting the apocalypse, that he had been trained in Scotland in a certain way of looking at the book of Revelation. And what these Jesuit scholars did was open his vista into maybe this element in the apocalypse could be understood in a different way. Maybe to say, I think it got his creative juices going.
We see Lacunza's influence on Irving, not only because he translated Lacunza's book on prophecy from Spanish to English, but because of the comments he makes in his whopping 125-page so-called preliminary discourse, which serves as a preface to Lacunza's work. On page 12 of his preliminary discourse, Irving speaks of the loan of Ben Ezra and states that he is, quote, deeply impressed with the truth and importance of the doctrines contained in it, end quote. Unbelievably, on page 15, Irving goes so far as to call this Jesuit priest his, quote, worthy master.
Like I just showed you.
Then on page 63, Edward Irving uses the word dispensations over a dozen times, a word and concept that will be picked up later by Darby and others and play a critical role in pre-trib doctrine.
Dispensationalism. False doctrine.
Is that Irving and his followers would in time, like Lacunza, teach a second and third coming of Christ and later be followed by Darby and much of evangelical Christendom, all stemming from this Jesuit priest, Manuel Lacunza. Even leading pre-trib advocate Thomas Ice acknowledges that the view among early Irvingites that placed a gap between the rapture of the church and a significant portion of time before Christ actually came to the earth most likely was taken from the Roman Catholic Jesuit priest Manuel Lacunza. Ice stated, quote, it is also true that Irvingites spoke of a soon coming of Christ to translate believers to heaven, but this view was part of their second coming belief that they apparently derived from Manuel Lacunza's writings, end quote. Indeed, Irving wrote in the preface of Lacunza's book that he wrote it, quote, to stir up the soul to look daily for the coming of the Lord, end quote. A quote from which the latter part, John Darby, seems to have taken verbatim from Irving. On page 124 of Irving's preface to Lacunza's book, we see that Irving states his purpose, which is to focus on the second coming of Christ. Irving stated, quote, I think it to be my duty further to state the godly order and arrangement according to which the Albury Conference concerning the second advent, end quote. Sure enough, as we shall see, Lacunza's new theory about a second and third coming, or a gap between the so-called second coming, will soon find its way into the Albury Conferences, which was the most influential prophetic conference of its time, and Irving was its most prominent and influential teacher.
The Albury conferences. They used to have conferences back then, and that's how all this doctrine got spread around. This rapture stuff. John, that's what we finna see about John Nelson Darby next. And he talked about dispensationalism. This, that's a doctrine that talking about that this world was split up into dispensations. And they try to use Paul's writings. The word dispensation is only used 4 times in the Bible. And all modern translations don't say dispensation. 4 times. I wanted to put in, we ain't got time. We got a lot to get to today. We showing you these videos, setting the foundation, then we're going to go to the scriptures. We're going to see, do the scriptures teach this? C.S. Scofield, I got his Bible right here. You know, this is what a lot of Rapture people, this is their go-to book. The Scofield Study Bible. Margaret McDonald, she the one having dreams. Now, some people say, well, no, that's kind of shady what she talking about. No, Darby did get some stuff from her. So watch this next video from the same I Don't Own This. Right here. All right.
Millennialism. But again, my premise is he learned it, he got it from Irving in the Albury Circle, the Morning Watch. Who knows how it was swirling about the air that time, but they're the group that focused on it. They're the ones that started elaborating on it. We know that Darby and the early Plymouth Brethren were reading Irving and the Morning Watch.
Even Benjamin Wells Newton, Darby's close associate at the time, stated that Darby became pre-trib after Irving because Darby was unsure about pre-trib as late as December of 1831.
John Nelson Darby seems to have come a bit later. One of Darby's associates, being Newton, he said that Darby was unsure of whether the pre-tribulation rapture was right or wrong, I think in December, yes, in December 1831. So a year after.
Yeah, but go to other sources, other translations, and you won't see that word dispensation there, Mama J.
Chapter 2, verses 1 and 2, that quote, "It is this passage which 20 years ago, which would be 1830, made me understand the rapture of the saints before, perhaps a considerable time before, the day of the Lord, that is, the judgment of the living," end quote. Possibly entertain the Lacunza view of a two-stage coming in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 1 and 2. There's absolutely nothing in those two verses that even hints of the idea of a two-stage coming separated by even a day or a year, and definitely no mention of a pre-trib rapture. In fact, as we have seen, the passage actually warns against the idea that we would be caught up before the Antichrist, but states that the falling away and the Antichrist must take place first. Add to this that Darby's official writings at this time are still clearly post-trib at this point. However, 1830 was the year Darby heard Margaret McDonald's vision of what she described as a secret rapture, though her timing is not clearly specified unless she purported a partial rapture, as many maintained. Nevertheless, even Warrenchuck wonders, when considering the breadth of Darby's inspirations, stating, quote, "I would not be surprised if Darby at some time thought of a partial rapture as appears in Margaret McDonald. Could this be what the secret rapture meant?" End quote. This gets even more interesting because 13 years after Darby heard Margaret McDonald's prophecy, and after the Irvingites immediately began teaching pre-trib partial rapturism, Darby was clearly entertaining the idea of partial rapturism himself. Darby, as late as 1843, spoke of a pre-trib rapture of the faithful, while other classes of saints would go through the tribulation. He wrote in an 1843 letter, quote, "My mind is opened out to many wider views and details. I find many more classes of saints and glory in apocalypse than heretofore, though all blessed. It may be some will pass through, but I am more than ever confirmed that it is not presented to our faith, but the contrary, and that the faithful will be kept from it. Lot experienced mercies not manifested to Abraham in the same way," end quote. Darby also mirrored Edward Irving by following him in the belief that the tribulation was only 3.5 years long. In an article entitled
"Yes, even John hate you too.
Rapture Advocates," Thomas Ice himself admits, quote, "Even Jay and Darby originally believed that the rapture would occur 3.5 years before the second coming," end quote. Jonathan David Burnham wrote, quote, "Until at least 1845, Darby taught that the rapture would occur 3.5 years before the second coming. He, like Irving, as we have seen, connected the rapture with the casting out of Satan from heaven in Revelation 12, an event he believed triggered the Great Tribulation period," end quote. While it is possible that Darby entertained the new revelations of Lacunza, Margaret McDonald, and the Irvingites in 1830, and later accepted and modified them, the truth is that Darby's decades later recollection does not square with documented facts, as many historians have pointed out. Darby was clearly still post-trib in 1830, when many of the Irvingites had clearly become pre-trib, as documented in the Morning Watch. Indeed, Darby's early theological companion at the time, Benjamin Wells Newton, who helped co-found the Brother Movement, stated that the pre-trib rapture came out of the Albury conferences and related a meeting after this period, stating, quote, "But when he," speaking of Darby, "came back, I asked him about the immediate coming, and he would not decide either way. I argued with him that it couldn't possibly be sinful to hope for the Lord's return in the way that evidently Paul hoped for it, namely with intervening events. He wouldn't decide," end quote. While John Darby claims that he began to believe in futuristic events like the rapture before 1830, he didn't understand when the rapture would take place relative to the tribulation period. Darby admits in his own words that he, quote, "was not able to put these things in their respective places or arrange them in order as I can now," end quote. Historian Max Murchuk.
This brother is just confused. He confused. He don't know what it is. So why would somebody that put this stuff out there, why are we taking what they said? Nobody before them, for the 1500s, was teaching this stuff. Nobody was teaching it until the 1500s, all the way then a few hundred years later when you get to John Nelson Darby, and then from that point, it just run wild. Nobody was teaching this. But I'm going to be fair to him. I'm going to be fair. This one's only like a minute or so. But watch this one. You're going to see the real reason for pre-trib, that view. You're going to see what it is. They love this doctrine.
Who took me to task and told me the story of this evil woman by the name of Margaret McDonald, who was listening to
I tell both sides of it.
Influencing John Nelson Darby and his doctrine and teaching of the pre-tribulation rapture. This story has been going around for so long, I find it really hard to believe that intelligent people still talk about it because it's been disproven so many times. We should talk a little bit about John Nelson Darby and Margaret McDonald.
Well, as the story goes, John Nelson Darby got his information on dispensationalism from a young teenage girl who
lies.
Wake up
and moment, but I'll tell you after this.
Visions, and one of those visions supposedly had to do with Israel's return to the land, the dispensations, et cetera, and that's where John Nelson Darby got his doctrine. Absolute untruth from beginning to end. I've studied all the books on the subject. But the thing that I would say most of all is that John Nelson Darby graduated from Trinity College as a master scholar, meaning that he had mastered every discipline at the college, including linguistics, and he spoke all the old world languages.
At age 15.
Yeah, and he was a genius. And he spoke, in fact, he later translated the Bible into German, into French. I think there's an Italian Darby Bible. He felt that it was his duty to get the word of God into as many hands as possible. The man was a genius.
Everybody a genius.
He did not get his information from Margaret McDonald. He got it from studying the Bible.
Well, he started what became known as the Plymouth Brethren, even though he didn't want to become a denomination. And it's fascinating to me how the Plymouth Brethren had such great influence into the birth.
But UK stuff, y'all.
It was the Brethren, people like William Heschler, who helped Theodore Herzl. A general by the name of General Ord Wingate went to Israel. He was a British general.
British. Oof.
Member of the Plymouth Brethren. He founded the Haganah for Israel. Just go down the line, and all of the
Balfour Agreement. Y'all remember them countries?
The people who helped Israel come into existence. Because why? Because they believed in prophecy.
The miracle of Israel. In fact, that's a chapter
in
those books sitting there on the table. I mean, no one can believe it, but Israel has become a nation again, a strong nation.
You know, we have a lot of.
Now they got to sell you something. $39.95. Brother Ronnie, give you stuff free.
ProphecyWatchers.com.
But guys, we see their end game. It's all about promoting. What they were trying to do was have a separation between what they call the New Testament church. With who? With what they call from the Israel of the Bible. They got to keep them separate. Though he gonna come get the church first, and then he gonna come back for Israel and all the pre-tribulation saints. Bible don't say nothing about the pre-tribulation saints. I mean, great tribulation saints. But this is what we already see how confused the brother was, but we're going to run with everything he said. This is what he taught. He said, this is from him, a quote from him. It said, it is not necessary to understand the last 18 chapters of Revelation because the church will not be here during its fulfillment. When the church disappears, when the tribulation of 7 years begin, problem is that ain't wrote in the Bible. Don't say nothing about no tribulation of 7 years. Don't say nothing about no church disappearing. It don't say none of that. They make it say that. And brothers and sisters, this is the best video right here. This is the best one. It's worth your watching. This is the last one. We ain't watching no more after this. But this is from a brother named Truth Unedited, who I'm so glad that the Most High brought him out of the pre-tribulation doctrine, because he used to believe that in the rapture, pre-tribulation rapture, but he don't no more. So he did a video maybe a month or so ago, 2 parts, outstanding. Go to the brother channel, subscribe. Great. But here he is. He gonna say this, gonna just confirm a lot of the same stuff.
Okay, so let me tie this all together in case I've confused you. I don't want to confuse you here. What I am explaining is that the beginning of the pre-tribulation rapture doctrine does not start because they were claiming that God was going to save the church from the tribulation. But this doctrine is according to separating the church and the Jews. Basically, the belief is centered around a belief that God is going to preserve the church and then come back to deal with the Jews. And this is the main backdrop to the pre-tribulation doctrine. The foundation of the pre-tribulation rapture doctrine is not about the church, but really about separating Israel and the church.
Brother Lewis.
It is about how Yah is going to restore Israel. Now, this is a topic I spend a lot of time on this channel. The application of this view depends greatly upon who you assign the heritage of Israel to. I will not discuss this at this time in this video. I have made a video explaining who the Jews really are. It's on my website if you want more understanding of this. But the foundation of the pre-tribulation rapture is built on this premise. So let's continue. The views concerning Israel came to have a great influence over many Christian leaders and politicians, which includes men like John Nelson Darby and Henry Drummond, a city banker and politician who founded the Catholic Apostolic Church with Irving. Now, please understand that this man, Henry Drummond, had ties to the Rothschild family. But I will leave that point for another time.
For agreement.
Let's talk about how we get to Darby. On the first day of Advent, this day of Advent is the 4th Sunday before Christmas Day. On that first day of Advent in 1826, the same year Irving was translating Lacunza's work, Henry Drummond opened his home at Albury Park to a select group of 20 invited guests to discuss matters of prophecy. These included the Reverend Louis Way, who had helped found the London Society for the Promotion of Christianity among the Jews, or also called London Jew Society, as it was more commonly named. Also present was Hugh McNeil, another Anglican who in 1830 published a book entitled The Prophecies Relative to the Jewish Nation. Similar premillennial prophetic conferences were held at Albury each year until 1830. Now, starting in 1831, these annual meetings of prophecy began to be held in County Wicklow, Ireland. These meetings were held at the Powers Court estate. This was a powerful family in England. In those earlier years, Lady Powers Court had attended Henry Drummond's prophecy conferences at his home at Albury Park, and then brought the conferences later to her castle. It was at this meeting where the pre-tribulation rapture doctrine was established, right here, on the Brethren archive site. The Brethren is the group that John Nelson Darby created, just to be clear. On their site,
that's
it has
who you
a list
follow
of the subjects that were had at the Powers Court meetings from 1830 to 1841. Like they showed in the first year in 1830, in the evening, they discussed the restoration of the Jews, including the subject of covenants. In 1831, Thursday, October 6th, they discussed the last great and terrible conflict at the coming of Christ. Who's the power that heads it, against whom, signs by which this power to be known, proof whether saints to suffer in it. These were the questions that they were going over at this conference, it said. It is right here, at this time, at this place, these annual meetings which took place over a span of over a decade, is where the pre-tribulation rapture doctrine was created. And John Nelson Darby was made to be the face of it. We truly do not know exactly what went on in the castle, but we know the doctrine that came from it. And it is the doctrine that the modern day church today holds on to with great hope. But you see, during this time in the early 19th century, in the 1800s, they were going over the plan for the Jews. Not for all of Israel, all the 12 tribes, but for the Jews. And there's a reason for that. Now, I don't like interjecting my own points that are not proven, but I want to make sure I add this because I just think it needs to be said. When these people in England were having these discussions, this was at the time of known Rothschild power in the world, especially in Europe. There were many different things occurring during those years. I believe the conclusion can be easily made that this doctrine of Christianity that was built was created by the Rothschild family in order to lead the world to their plans of where we're at right now. The same ones who assisted with the creation of the state of Israel were the same ones who helped establish the Christian doctrine to get the world ready to support the agenda. You see, they had a plan for their state of Israel, and then they helped create the doctrine to get the world ready to accept the creation of the state of Israel and to get the world to want this to happen and be a part of it. We've seen that history. And these meetings that were had amongst these wealthy families like the Drummonds and the Power Courts, they used these people to create the mindset and doctrinal beliefs that the Protestant Christian church has today. It was all led by these same powerful families. It is important that you know where your doctrine comes from.
What's the big deal about Israel?
What's the big deal about Israel? Why is this tiny country always in the news?
And why do other countries want to wipe it off the map?
Or maybe you've asked,
why have the Jews been so mistreated throughout history? If you want to know the answers to those questions, God made a promise.
Here come your guy, Sister Sheila. He gonna be coming up. Hey, he coming up.
Everything in his power to destroy Israel and her people. That's why, as Christians, we need to stand in solidarity with Israel.
We need to love the Jewish people.
And we need to pray
for the peace of Jerusalem.
Few Christians understand that in the future there's going to be a global day of judgment in which the nations of the world and individuals will be judged by Jesus Christ on planet Earth for how they treated the Jewish people. That's a synopsis of Matthew, the 24th chapter. This judgment will happen after the second coming. Get this in your mind. The rapture of the church happens. We're in heaven for 7 years. At the end of 7 years, there is the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
In which he puts his foot on the Mount of
Yes,
Olives.
Mama J. Pope. Yes, Key to Life.
Will be all of the heavenly hosts. That will be you, and every person who has received Jesus Christ as Savior and Lord. Also coming will be all of the angels in heaven. In that period, Jesus Christ is going to gather the nations of the world, and he's going to ask them about how they treated the Jewish people. I was hungry and you didn't feed me.
All right, that's about all I can stomach of that. But yeah, daughter Sarah, yes, that was a demon that visited. I had to put my glasses on. Y'all, it's so small on this tablet, I couldn't see it. So if I skipped anybody comments, please forgive me. Please forgive me. It's not on purpose. But you know, you got all your that. So all of those, no more videos, but all of those people that I just showed you, that's where all this stuff came from. The Left Behind movies. I got the book. I got the videos. I used to watch this stuff. Matter of fact, the church that I used to go to when I was a teenager, we had a movie night where we went to church, and we had a big screen TV, rented a big screen TV, put it in the sanctuary, and we just watched this movie. And everybody, oh, hey man, we had a 30-minute prayer session before, and then we watched this movie. Yeah. But yeah, I even got the other movies up here. The Omega Code Megiddo one, it's over there on the shelf, but I got both of those movies. I got all these movies. You know, but you know, they show you this Left Behind, you just gonna fly up out your clothes. I said, no, I ain't gonna do that. I started before the message was coming just to put some clothes in this seat to make y'all think the rapture had already took me. But I said, no, I ain't gonna do that. But the experts, you see him, Jack Van Impe. I got his tapes, CDs and stuff in my attic. What's the guy? I got his book, Hilton Sutton, on the right here. My mom gave me this book when I was probably about 13 or 14 years old. You see how raggedy it is now. But you see John Nelson Darby, Harold Camping, Hal Lindsey Report. You know, these are the experts. But all of these guys that's on this screen right here, they say ain't no proof for the pre-tribulation. It ain't strictly written out in the scriptures. It ain't explicitly stated in the scriptures. They say that. All of these guys. You know, the guy that wrote Left Behind the book, he even said one objection. It said one objection to the pre-tribulation rapture is that no one passage of the scripture teaches the two aspects of his second coming separated by the tribulation. He said, this is true. He knows it. They know it. This other guy, who is one of the leading authorities on this kind of stuff, he said, an explicit teaching of scriptures, it just broke his sentence up. It said, the Bible does not teach in so many words. Pre-trib, it don't teach it in so many words. But this is basically the breakdown of all of this. You know, there you go, Mama J. Pope, the 7 dispensation. That ain't what Paul taught. You know, when he talked about dispensation of grace, he said that the age of innocency, conscience, human government, promise, law, grace, kingdom, second coming. You see, in the middle, 7-year period. That's what they teach. But they ain't reading this book. But we're going to get on into the word. Revelation is the book that tests your knowledge of the whole Bible. I already told you, if they took away Genesis to all the way up and just stopped at Revelation, they took Genesis to Jude out. You got Revelation. You can teach the whole Bible with just Revelation alone. Same thing with Genesis. If they took out Exodus all the way to Revelation, teach the whole Bible. But you got to be careful when you see this. These words, phrases are not in the Bible. The rapture, not in there. Great tribulation is in there, but it doesn't say the great tribulation. It's just saying great tribulation just means the tribulation going to be great. The tribulation saints. We will be in heaven 7 years partaking in the marriage supper of the Lamb. If these are not in the Bible, that should ring a bell. These are things that they coined. But what is rapture? Rapture, it means a feeling of intense pleasure of joy. That's one meaning, but that's what makes, I'd just be so glad when the rapture, I ain't got to worry about none of that. The rapture gonna come. People are gonna be unprepared. Their faith is gonna fail them because everything that they thought was gonna happen was a lie. Ecstasy, bliss. That's what they got. They on some ecstasy, bliss, euphoria, elation, exaltation, joy, joyfulness. But North American, it said, according to some millennial teaching, the transporting of believers to heaven at the second coming of Christ. The Bible don't say that. Thousands of Christians gathered at, they give an example, thousands of Christians gathered outside Rochester and other cities awaiting the rapture. Boy, it said again, as a verb, it said, according to some millenarian teaching, transport a believer from earth to heaven at the second coming of Christ. People will be raptured out of automobiles as they are driving along. The Bible don't say that. My wife just laughed. Oh, yeah. But rapture concepts. But the word, this is where they get it from. They read in Paul's writings in Corinthians, talking about being caught up and stuff, and Thessalonians. But that word caught up is harpazo. It says to seize, to seize, to convey away suddenly, transport hastily. But when Paul didn't never say he gonna catch you up and take you to heaven. It don't say that. Catch a way up. It said to seize, carry off by force, to snatch. You see, that's the concept. But even in here, it's still, even in the definition, it don't say nothing about no rapture. But let's go to Revelation 2. This is what they get. Well, we ain't gonna go through the tribulation. This is Revelation. This should be chapter 3, not 2 at the top. But this is 3. I did put the right scriptures in. It said, and to the angel of the church of Philadelphia, right? These things say he that is holy, he that is true, he that had the key of David, he that opened and no man shutteth, and no. Go watch our other classes. We break all this down. I believe in volume 2 we broke this down. 2 and 3 we broke this down about the key of David and everything. It said, I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and has not denied my name. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. See, right there, he's going to keep us. It said he's going to keep you. He said he's going to take you nowhere. Right? But let's keep it pushing. But we're going to look at, we got 2 words highlighted, kept my word, and I will also keep. They don't never look up stuff. It says that word is tareo. Tareo. Keep, reserve, observe, watch, preserve, keeper, hold fast. It says to attend to carefully. What you do to his word is what he gonna do to you. You should be guarding his word, not let nobody take away from it. It says, metaphorically, to keep one in the state in which he is. He's not going to let nothing happen. Man, them things, them locusts, them stinging people, they ain't looking for you. You sealed. To keep one in the state that he is in, to observe, to reserve, to undergo something, to guard from loss or injury properly by keeping an eye upon. And thus differing from the Greek 5442, which is properly it says thus differing from the Greek 5442, which is properly to prevent escaping, which implies a military fortress or full military lines of apparatus. He will guard you. Don't say nothing. He said, I will keep, kept and keep. They the same word. But we're going to go to the place where they say, this is what John Nelson Darby said. He said, this is Revelation chapter 4. It's 18 chapters left after chapter 4. He said, past this chapter, you don't got to worry about nothing else because you're not going to be here. That's what he said. That's very irresponsible, John Nelson Darby. And after this, I looked and behold a door. They call this particular thing, Revelation 4, 1 and 2. They call this the picture or the window. John said, after this, I looked and behold, a door was open in heaven. John looked and it was a door was open in heaven, not you. And the first voice which I heard was as it were of a trumpet talking with me, which said, come up hither. There they go. Come up hither. I should have had that highlighted. And I will show you things which must be hereafter. He was talking to John. He wasn't talking to you. But we try to superimpose ourselves right there. And then he said, and John said, and immediately you was in the spirit. No, he said, immediately I was in the spirit. And behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. You can see that in Isaiah chapter 6, saying John having a similar experience like Isaiah had, right? We're not going to read that. That came from another. I don't need that at the bottom. We're just showing you that there's similar concepts in the Bible. But here are other rapture concepts. They say, well, the rapture going to be like this. And the Most High said unto Noah, come down and all thy house into the ark. Oh, come into heaven. No, come in the ark. For thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. And watch this. And the men, and this is Genesis 19, when Sodom and Gomorrah was going to be destroyed. And the men said unto Lot, hast thou any here besides son-in-laws son-in-law and thy sons and thy daughters and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. Bring them out. He took them to heaven, though. No. Verse 14, and Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-laws, which married his daughters, and said, up. Up. You see, up. He said, up. Now he's just saying, get up, man. The man probably was sitting down. Up, or just chilling. Up, get out of this place. For the Most High will destroy this city, but he seemed as one that mocked unto his son-in-laws. So they were destroyed. Let's go to, because I was talking to a particular person this week. The pre-tribulation rapture is in the Bible. It's in there. We're gonna start it Quentin Tarantino style. We're gonna start at verse 9 first. It says, after this, I beheld and lo, a great multitude, which no man can number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb. That's the rapture right there. That's the rapture right there. Okay, we gonna show you. Well, how are they before the throne and before the Lamb? You don't understand the scriptures, brother. They gonna show you. It says, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cry with a loud voice, saying, salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And all the angels stood round about the throne. See, this in heaven. That's pre-trib. How they get there? It says, saying, blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be to our God forever and ever. Amen. And one of the elders answered, saying to me, what are these which are arrayed in white robes? And whence came they? And I said unto him, sir, you know. And he said unto me, these are they which came out of great tribulation. My mom said, oh, I just said who it was. He said, that's the great. I said, it don't say the great tribulation right there. It says great tribulation. Meaning the tribulation was great. It was a lot. And washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. But I'm like, but if this is she said this was, I said, but he just said they was in tribulation. So where are the other people? Oh, well, they was already raptured up before then. I said, where did it say that at? If these are people that came out of the tribulation, where they at? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. But what she failed to realize is you got to read the verses before it, guys. You have to. This is the 144,000 being sealed. Talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. I'm only doing verse 1 through 4. You can read 5 through 8 talks about the 12,000 of each tribe that was sealed. I just did to save time. It says, after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor on any tree. So they getting ready to seal all of the Most High's people. They getting ready to seal them. He said, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have. See, what she was trying to make this be was the rapture and the great tribulation saints at the same time. See, you have to you mix stuff up. If this was from the rapture, they in heaven worshiping while stuff still going on the earth. Well, these people still down here. And look, this corresponds with the seals. What seals? The seal 1, 2, and 3 corresponds with the trumpets 1, 2, and 3. The 1, 2, and 3 trumpets is trees, waters, and seas being stricken. But nothing happened yet until the Most High people were sealed. He said, don't start none of this stuff. You can read that. This is in volume 5, I believe. It's either 4 or 5. Volume 4 or 5 in our series. This little caption right here. You can get that. This before any other, before the seals, trumpets, and vials, they sealed. They ain't took nowhere. But I said, well, she was like, no. The person, no, that's Israel. That's the 12 tribes. That's Israel witnessing to the people who didn't make the first tribulation rapture, the pre-trib rapture. I said, where that's wrote at? That ain't wrote in the Bible. But you be like, but the thing is, they don't understand. They do not understand how the Bible works. How are all these people before the throne and before the throne and everything? They equal to angels at this point. At this point. But the thing was, my mother, she was trying to make this be both. She was saying that, that's the rapture right there, because that's the rapture right there because they're before the throne and everything. But even so, do you know during the millennial reign of Yeshua HaMashiach, we will be able to go up and down, descend and descend. We will be equal to the angels. Equal to them. Love my mama. She very sincere in what she believes. Very sincere. But we're going to go to the Apocrypha. During the millennial reign, we just like the Most High still going to be in heaven. Yeshua will still be able to go up and down. He been doing that all the time anyway throughout the whole Bible. Angels have jobs. We equal to the angels. We going to be times where we serving down here, we serving up there. You are equal to the angel. You got to start. You got to do their jobs too. Equal, just like. Let's go to the Apocrypha, Wisdom of Solomon. It says, as for the mysteries, it's a mystery. You got to seek out the mysteries. As for the mysteries of Yah, they knew them not, neither hope they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern a reward for blameless souls. For God created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through the envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. You will find it. The wages of sin is death, but if you keep righteousness, you get life. Let's go to the Wisdom of Solomon 1:13 through 16. It said, for Yah made not death. He sure did not. Neither had he pleasure in the destruction of the living. That's why they said, brother Ronnie, whose side you on in Israel? I ain't on nobody's side. I'm on the innocent people's side. Folks getting kidnapped, slaughtered, and murdered. That's whose side I'm on. But I'm not stupid to not realize that that state that is over there, that ain't of the Most High. For he created all things that they might have their being, and the generations of the world were healthful, and there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth. For righteousness is immortal. If righteousness never ends, what's righteousness? Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. That's Psalm 119, 142. It scroll on the bottom of the screen all the time. Yeah, we all did, guys. I mean, myself included. I grew up in the non-denominational church. That's where I got it from. Righteousness is immortal. That's how you become like the angels. Let's go to Enoch 69:10 through 11. For men were not created for such a purpose, to give confirmation to their good faith with pen and ink. For men were created exactly like the angels. Go to Luke 20:34 to 36. Because Yeshua, he gonna say the same thing. And Yeshua answering said unto them, the children of this world marry and are given in marriage, but they which shall be accounted worthy to obtain that world from the dead, neither marry or are given in marriage, neither can they die anymore, for they are equal to the angels and are children of Yah. You gonna have perfect bodies. Celestial bodies. What you need a celestial body for if you can't go up and down up into heaven to the throne room? What you need that for? Yeshua said you're gonna be equal. But let's look at that word equal. It's actually it's not equal. It says for the whole thing is the whole thing is equal to the angels, which is one word, which is angelos. It says equal or similar to, like an angel, that is angelic, equal to the angels, like the angels. Paul tell you you're gonna be this mortal gonna put on immortality. Let's go to Matthew 22, because we ain't going to read all this. Yeshua just said to them, you're going to be as the angels of God in heaven, just to save time. But let's go to 2 Thessalonians. This is another one, rapture. We got to explain all the verses. Now, we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yeshua HaMashiach, our master. So this is directly talking about our gathering to him. Our gathering to him. Paul said, don't be soon shaken in mind or troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter from us, as that the day of Hamashiach is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means. For that day, what day? He just said it. The coming of our master, and our gathering unto him. For that day shall not come away, except there come a falling away first. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who we all know is the Antichrist. Yeshua ain't coming back. At best, it's going to be a falling away, which we already had a falling away. And that the man of sin be revealed. We don't know who no Antichrist is. So we're going to at least need to know where he come in at. You're going to be here. Who opposing and exalting himself above all that is called God or that is worship, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God. There they go. See, the Jews gonna build a temple. They don't say that. You make that say that. That temple, this is a spiritual temple. You look at her, this is a naos, a spiritual temple. We got a class called the New Temple. Go watch it. It goes into that. We don't have time to get into it all this time. No temple don't get really built. And even if they do build a structure, the Most High didn't build it. He said he don't dwell in temples made with hands. He said, showing himself that he is Yah. Remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things? Paul said, y'all done forgot. Christians today, y'all done forgot. He ain't coming back like that. Like y'all say a secret rapture. That's coming number 2. And then 7 years later, he come back again. That's 3. That's 3 comings. But the word falling away is apostasia. It says a defection from the truth. Properly the state. Falling away. Forsake. They're going to forsake the truth. What's the biblical definition of truth? Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. His law is the truth. Sin is transgression of his law. Let's keep it pushing. It's verse 7. The mystery of iniquity is already at work. We know only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. The devil gonna be took out the way, y'all. It says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Most High shall consume with the spirit of the. That's when he comes back. He destroys the man of sin when he comes back, the Antichrist. And then that wicked shall be revealed. Sin will be revealed for what it is, because Yeshua is going to be 1,000 years teaching. And the Most High, and whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him who's coming after him is after the working of Satan with all powers and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. The truth. For this cause, Yah shall send them strong delusion. Rapture is strong delusion. The law is done away with, is strong delusion. That they should believe a lie. The rapture is a pre-tribulation rapture is a lie. A lie. The law is done away with is a lie. That they might all be damned who believe not the truth. What's the biblical definition of truth? It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. It never changes. Righteousness is immortal. It's eternal. But they had pleasure in what? Unrighteousness. But what we're going to look up that word wicked. That wicked. That word wicked is anomos. Law in Greek means nomos. Anomos means no law. It says lawless. Not, that is negatively, not subject to Jewish law. By implication, a Gentile or positively wicked, without law, lawless, transgressor. You see what it is. Not the truth equals unrighteous, which equals sin. Truth equals righteousness, which what? Equals not sinning. That's the biblical definition of sin right there. Transgressing the law. There it is. We show it to you. Verse 10 in 1 John 3:10 say, whosoever doth not righteousness is not of Yah. Whosoever committed sin, transgressive also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. And ye know that he was manifested to take away our sins, and in him there is no sin. Verse 7, little children, let no man deceive you. Paul don't want nobody to deceive you in 2 Thessalonians, and John don't want nobody to deceive you. He that doeth righteousness is righteous, even as he, meaning Yeshua, is righteous. He that committed sin is of the devil, for the devil sinneth from the beginning. For this purpose was the Son of Yah manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil, which is what? Sin and death. See, right? I mean, the Apocrypha told you that the Most High didn't create death or sin. The devil did. Let's keep it pushing. Let's go. Now here go the big chapters, Quentin Tarantino style. See, they don't understand the abomination of desolation. They don't understand it. They will use Matthew chapter 24 to promote their rapture doctrine, pre-trib rapture doctrine. It said, Yeshua said, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whosoever readeth, let him understand. And what Daniel prophesied in chapter 9, he foretold what Antiochus Epiphanes was going to do to the temple. What, when he offered it swine's blood? Go and watch our Sunday in Swine class. So Matthew chapter 24 is dual prophecy. We know it can be dual prophecy because we see Yeshua using Daniel's prophecy for something that already happened. Dual prophecies. The abomination of desolation happens anytime Jerusalem is sacked. Anytime the people of the true people are not in the land, it's desolate. It says, then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to his clothes. And woe to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. Wait a minute. If Christians, y'all say this future events, why is Yeshua talking about in the end time the Sabbath day? How you gonna flee? You ain't in Judea. How you gonna flee to the mountains? For then shall be what? Great. It don't say shall be the great tribulation. It just said it's gonna be great tribulation. You got different degrees of tribulation. Some tribulation we go through, it ain't that bad. It said, for there shall be great tribulation, which as was not seen since the beginning of the world to this time, nor should. But Yeshua, he letting them know, you gonna be there. He talking to them there. If this is future, he talking to them. I'm telling you, he talking about 70 AD, which I'm gonna prove in a second. But I'm telling you, it's still applicable today. We can extract things from it today. So let's go here. Verse 22, and except those days be shortened, there should not be no flesh saved for the elect's sake. Those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is the Christ, there believe it not. For there shall arise many false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders. This happened before 70 AD. This verse, I'm going to show it to you. If it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you, the very elect. So that means if this is talking about great tribulation, the elect, they gonna be there. You gonna be there. You say you his elect. Wherefore, if they say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not before. Or desert or wilderness before. He is in the secret chambers, believe it not. I can actually make a scripture say that Paul was in the desert and in a secret chamber and said he saw the Messiah. For as the lightning coming out of the east and shining even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, a dead body, there will the eagles be gathered together. What do the eagles do? They carry out carcasses. But Yeshua was talking about 70 AD. Let's go into, so we started at verse 15. Now we're going to go back up to 20. We're going to go start at verse 1. Yeshua foretells of the destruction of the temple. And Yeshua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yeshua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be here one stone left upon another that shall not be thrown down. These are verses before you get to chapter 15. But they make chapter 15, verses 15, all the way down to through the chapter. They make that be today. Read with context. Let's go to the Synoptic Gospel of Mark. It's 13, 1-4, a similar account. See, that's why you got to read all of them, put them side by side. You get a little bit more information. Yeshua foretells the destruction of the temple. And as he went out of the temple, one of his disciples said unto him, Master, see what manner of stones and what buildings are here? This is beautiful. Yeshua said unto him, seest thou these great buildings? Yeah, they beautiful. But there shall be not one stone left upon another that shall not be thrown down. Then you go to verse 3. It said, as he sat on the Mount of Olives against the temple, Peter and James and John and Andrew asked him privately, tell us, what shall these things be? When shall these things be? What things? Verse 1 and 2 things. These great buildings, they're going to be destroyed. When? 70 AD. It said, tell us when shall all these things be, and what shall be the sign of all these things be fulfilled. See, now when you go back and look, when you when you go to this one, pick it back up at verse Matthew 24:3. It says, as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples, they came to him and went. They said, the disciples came unto him saying proudly. In Matthew, it said it this way, and what shall be the sign of thy coming? In Mark, it says it this way. It says, tell us when these things should be. But what were they talking about? The temple. That when he came in 70 AD, that was his coming. Not him literally coming, but I tell you, you can use this because he is going to literally come this time, right? Because if Daniel can be used, the abomination of desolation that Daniel talked about, it was 2 abomination of desolations in Daniel. The first one was when Antiochus Epiphanes destroyed the temple. I mean, not destroyed the temple, desecrated the altar with pig's blood. And the next one, which is in Daniel chapter 9, is when the Rome, they were going to destroy the temple and cause the sacrifices to cease. Those are 2 abominations of desolation. That's why Yeshua said you got to understand. You can glean things out of Matthew chapter 24 for end times, but it was talking about a specific event. We got to learn about apocalyptic language in the Bible as well. Might do a class on that soon. Got a lot of classes. But what he talking about the end of the age. But let's see. It says in verse 5, he said, but verse 4, he said, and Yeshua said unto them, take heed no man deceive you. Now he don't want you to be deceived. Paul don't want you deceived. John don't want you deceived. Now Yeshua don't want you deceived. John Nelson Darby has everybody deceived. For many shall come in my name saying, I am the Christ, and shall deceive many. Brother Runner, you said this already happened. It sure did. You can read in Josephus. Get you this. Scholars read it. Why can't you? Get it. This is not Antiquities. This is Wars of the Jews, 6.5.2 through 3. It said 8 false. Now, this is when the temple was actually being taken. It says, but this happened many other times. I just didn't have enough time to put everything in here because we got some more stuff to get to. It says, and a false prophet was the occasion of these people's destruction, who made a public proclamation in the city that very day that Yah commanded them. That these false prophets said when the temple was being taken, he said, get up on the temple. They said, Yah said, they coming in his name saying that when they say I am the Christ, what does Christ mean? The anointed one. I'm the one that's here to save you. It said that Yah commanded them to get on the temple, and that there should be that there should receive miraculous signs of that. You're gonna see miraculous signs and wonders of your deliverance. Now there was then a great number. What did Yeshua just say? He said many false prophets. Didn't he say that? Let me see. Let's see. Where did he say that at? You know, he said many false prophets. I can't find it right away. I'm trying to get through this, guys. He said, now there was then a great number of false prophets suborned by the tyrants to impose on the people who denounced this to them, that they should wait for deliverance from Yah. These false prophets said, get up here. The Most High, this place ain't going to be destroyed. Now, Yeshua told them, when you see this, you get out, flee to the mountains. These dudes were telling them, you stay here. He going to deliver you. He not going to let this happen. That they should wait for deliverance from Yah, and this was in order to keep them from deserting, and that they might be buoyed up above fear and care by such hopes. Now, a man that is in adversity does easily comply with such promises. For that's why people they think these people that's talking about the rapture, when they see stuff going on, they use the rapture for hope. I don't want to go through nothing. For when such a seducer makes him believe that he shall be delivered from these miseries which oppress him, then it is that the patient is full of hopes of such his deliverance. Thus were the miserable people persuaded by these deceivers, and such as belied God himself. They were coming in the name of the Most High, saying he said this, while they did not attend nor give credit to the signs that were so evident, and did no plainly foretell their future desolation. But like men infatuated, without either eyes to see or minds to consider, did not regard the denunciation that Yah made to them. Yeshua already told you, get out of there when you see it encompassed by armies. He said, that's what he said, for many shall come in my name. Say, that's what they would come. The Most High told us this. I'm sent here to save you from this. Go in this temple. He gonna protect us. They were all killed. If you keep reading in the Wars of the Jews, it got so bad that the people was hiding their gold and eating their gold and stuff, and the Roman soldiers were just cutting it out of them. Read. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. Let's keep it pushing. But everybody think Matthew 24 is talking about, the disciples are asking him about his second coming. They weren't asking him about his second coming. They were asking him about the destruction of Jerusalem. That's what they were asking. You want to know how I know? Because they didn't even know Yeshua was going nowhere. They didn't know he was going nowhere. Let's read it. Let's look at the story of Zacchaeus. We cutting it down. But Zacchaeus was a little short fella in the tree. Yeshua needed to use his house. And he told him, I'd done repented for everything I'd done wrong. And Yeshua said, today salvation come to your house. And Zacchaeus stood and said unto the master, behold, master, the half of my goods I give to the poor. And if I have taken anything from any man by false accusation, I restore. And this is chronologically before Matthew chapter 24 and Mark chapter 13. This is chronologically before. If this is before, and then when we get to when they're asking him these things, they're not asking about no second coming. Those were apocalyptic ways of saying I'm coming to, I'm gonna have some stuff destroy this place. I know it's hard. And Yeshua said unto them, this day is salvation come to this house, for so much as he also is the son of Abraham. For the Son of Man is come to seek and save which is lost. And as they heard these things, he added and spake a parable, because he was nigh to Jerusalem, and because they thought the kingdom of God will immediately appear. Now you say, well, that ain't saying that. Okay, let's go to another one. They didn't know this is before Matthew chapter 24. How they asking him? And they don't even know he going nowhere. Then he took to him the 12 and said unto them, behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and all things that are written by the prophets concerning the Son of Man must be accomplished. For he shall be delivered unto the Gentiles, and shall be mocked and spitefully entreated and spit on. And they shall scourge him and put him to death. And on the third day he shall rise again. But watch this. He talking to the disciples, and they understood none of these things. And this saying was hid from them. Neither knew they the things which were spoken. They didn't know he was going nowhere. Watch this. After a little while, and ye shall see me. And again, this before, a little while ye shall see me, because I go to the Father. Then some of his disciples among themselves said, what is this that he saith unto us? A little while, and ye shall not see me. And again, a little while, and ye shall see me. And because I go to the Father. They said, therefore, what is this that he saith a little while? We cannot tell what he say. In the basic English Bible, it says this. So they said again and again, what is this he's saying a little time? His words are not clear to us. They didn't know he was going nowhere. So how, when they had Matthew chapter 24, how are they asking him? How, I ask you, how are they asking him, what's going to be like when you come back? They don't know he going nowhere. Now I'm going to show you after Matthew 24, they still didn't know. They still didn't know. But back in Matthew chapter 24, they asking, when you coming? What's going to be like when you come back? You know, the great tribulation. What is it? Yeah. Oh, Mama J. Pope, you are truly, truly welcome. All praises to the Most High. So this after Matthew 24, they still ain't know the resurrection. This is the first day of the week when Mary coming Mary Magdalene early in the week. It was still dark. You see, we gonna skip ahead to save time because we run out of time. It says, and he stooping down and looking in saw the linen clothes lying, yet not he went in. Then coming Simon Peter following them into the sepulchre or the tomb, and seeth the linen clothes lie, and the napkin that was about his head. Skip down to verse 8. It said, then went in also that other disciple which came first to the sepulchre, and he saw and believed. For as yet they knew not the scripture that he must rise again from the dead. Wait. Time out. When I was a coach, I was like, time out. What y'all doing out here? What the heck is going on around here? They knew not the scripture that he must rise again from the dead. But in Matthew chapter 24, Mark chapter 13, they asking him, what's going to be the sign? What's it going to be like when you come back? Did y'all see that? Your mind should be blown right by now. But let's go. But we know Matthew chapter 24 is big fulfilled, but we can't extract things out of it. But because they use Matthew chapter 24 as their proof text for pre-tribulation rapture, we're going to use it. So if this was the tribulation and everything they talking about, let's go to Matthew 24:29. The great coming of the Son of Man. It said immediately after tribulation of those days, immediately. But let's go back. Hold on. Yeshua said they were going to go through what? He said they were going to go through what? Great. In verse 21, he said they were going to go through great tribulation. But let's go back. Let's get back to where we were. Immediately, verse 29, 8 verses later, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened and the moon shall not give her light, and the star, and all of this is apocalyptic language, by the way, brothers and sisters. I'm gonna do a class and show you this all throughout the Old Testament. It used the same language, and it wasn't talking about nothing but the like locusts and this and that. But at Yeshua's second coming, it is going to be this, though. That stuff is going to literally fall out the sky then, because all that stuff got to get out the way for his coming. Right? But immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. That just simply means in 70 AD, it was a dark day for the children of Israel when their temple and their city was taken down by the Romans. But look at that. He shall send his angel with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. You can also read in Josephus, all of the people that did escape out of Jerusalem, all of the people that Yeshua's word that went out, they escaped out of Jerusalem. His real followers, they got out. Read that in Josephus. I should have put it in here, but I didn't. But anyway, now let's talk about now. This is dealing with the coming of the actual physical coming of him. Matthew chapter 24 is totally been fulfilled. Totally. We can extract things out of it. They ain't asking Yeshua about no second coming when they ain't even know he was going nowhere. If they were, the Bible is a contradiction, but it's not. That must mean that your understanding is off. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others that have no hope. Paul don't want you ignorant. We finna show it to you. It said, for if we believe that Yeshua died and rose again, even so them which also sleep in Yeshua will Yah bring with him. Soul sleep doctrine people. He bringing them with him. Their spirits are in heaven. Their bodies are in the ground. But at his coming, guess what? They will be changed. It says, for this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself, this is how you know, himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, with the trump. And the dead in Christ shall, or Hamashiach, shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Most High in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Master. Somebody calling. Leave a voice message. Call somebody calling the ministry. They ain't at service today, then, are they? It says, then we which are alive shall remain, shall be caught up, harpazo. That's where they get the rapture, together to meet him in the clouds, to meet the Lord in the air, and we shall ever be with the Lord. Where does it say right there that he took somebody to heaven for 7 years? It don't say that. We make it say that. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 15, 50 through 58. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. Now this I still Paul talking. He said, now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yah, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery, that we shall not all be dead, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. How many trumpets is during the tribulation? 7. You're going to be there. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. But at the last trump, let's go to the last trumpet and let's see what's happening. This is the last trump right here, the 7th trumpet. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last. And the 7th angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our master and of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever. We ain't even got to read the rest of this. What he doing? He coming back at the last trump to set the kingdom up. When you called to meet up with him in the air, the next place you're going to go is to the Mount of Olives, and you're getting ready to go into Jerusalem at that time. Right? But even when you get in Jerusalem in your new celestial suit, earth superhero suit, you better go up and down. Before the throne, back down here. You better go ask Nathaniel, when Yeshua told him, he said, I saw you sitting under the fig tree. You better go ask Jacob, Israel. You better go ask him. He had a dream of him going up and down, up and man, stop. That's a whole nother class unto itself. You see it, but let's go. It said, now this I say, brethren, that we already read that, but at verse 52, the last trump will be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality, so that when this corruptible have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is your victory? Your Nikos, your Bernike, your Nike. He said that wait. He said, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written. The saying that is written. The saying that death shall be. We know death has not been swallowed up in victory yet. People still dying. Death is not swallowed up in victory until he comes back. We caught up with him. We change. We go to Jerusalem and do what we do. This is unfulfilled Bible prophecy. Where is that row at? In Isaiah 25 verse 8. I've been harping on this the last few weeks so you can get it. Oh, let's skip to verse 8. He said he will swallow up death in victory. Why? Because he getting up. Hold on, what verse did I really want? I want verse 8, but I also want okay, here it is. It said verse 7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people. What's over all people? Sin. And the veil that is spread over all nations. The devil, dark. That's why he gonna be removed. They tell you in Thessalonians that the church, the Holy Spirit, the church gonna be removed. No, the devil will be removed. He the cloak that's over all nations. Yeshua gonna teach for 1,000 years. He will swallow up death in victory, and the Lord our Elohim will wipe away tears from off all faces. Wipe out to all this all unfulfilled Bible prophecy. When he wiping out tears from all faces. Read Revelation 21, 1 through 4. You got to know how to maneuver around this Bible. We're going to keep it pushing, though. It says, so when does he come back? We just showed you. He said after the tribulation. After all that stuff in Revelation, that's when. Zechariah 14, 1 to 4. Watch this. Behold, the day of the Most High cometh, and thy spoil. I need 15 more. I've been going over. Hit that like button. I see we still got 32 people hanging in here with us. Appreciate it. 21 likes. Excellent. Thank you, guys. I truly appreciate it. Truly, truly, truly appreciate it. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, and thy spoil be divided in the midst of thee. When Yeshua comes back, he will gather all nations against Jerusalem. He didn't say he was going to gather all nations against his people. He gathering all nations against the city of Jerusalem to battle. What in the world would make all nations go all? What does all mean? It means, is America a nation? Yeah. Is Russia a nation? Yeah. Is Czechoslovakia? I don't know if that's a nation or not, but it's a place. Is China a nation? Yeah. It said all nations will go against Jerusalem. I'm going to tell you this. One or two things. This stuff that's happening over there, that could be very, very significant. One or two things. If Israel goes in and just, and all them people ain't gonna get out, they're gonna go in there and just desolate Gaza, just mess it up. And if a lot of people, like I said, 1 million people out to flee, and they know they all can't get out, and they kill all those people, all nations might then turn and say, hey, wait a minute. That's one scenario. Scenario 2, you got Hamas, but you also have Hezbollah. They more numerous and more powerful. And they probably will have the backing of Iran. Now, if they go into Jerusalem, that might make all nations as well. I'm just trying to say. But anyway, when Yeshua come, the city gonna be taken, no matter who over there. If it's the Israelis today or the Palestinians today, oh, what's gonna happen? The city gonna be taken, which is why they probably they know these Bible prophecies. That's why we got to stomp out Hamas. Yet those Hamas people, they are extremists. There's no place for that. You know, torturing people and decapitating people. But the Most High, it all got to come to pass, though. I don't know how it's going to shake out, but it's going to shake out. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. And half the city shall go into captivity, and the residue of people shall not be cut off from this. A residue of people won't be cut off. Then shall the Lord go forth, after we done been resurrected, meet him in the air, his feet touch the Mount of Olives, we right there with him, we go in the city, we set order back on this earth. All the righteous, Israel. Because Yeshua gonna sit on the throne of David, his father David, ruling the world from Jerusalem. This ain't popular. They gonna cut me out. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna download this before, right after class. I'm gonna download it so I still have it in my archives. And it says, and his feet, and the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then Yahweh shall go forth and fight against those nations as he fought in the day of battle. And his feet shall stand. See, this is what the pre-trib folks say. They say he raptures us up. Now they do agree, but they said this is after 7 years that they go down to the mountain with him. But it don't say that. It don't say nothing about no secret rapture. You in heaven 7 years. It don't say none of that. It said his feet shall stand on the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east, and on the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst there. He already told you this about this in Mark chapter 11. Go read it. When he come back, that's where we going. Ain't no pre-trib. You gonna go through some things. Because he gonna be running things. That's to my big brother Zadok. He know who he is. That's what he know who he is. Running things. Off that movie with Tommy Davidson. Oh boy. But it's let's go to the Oxford Annotated. We're gonna go to Second Ezra. We're gonna tell you who they want to maintain. Now, I don't ascribe to Second Ezra, but a lot of people do. So we're gonna show you what Second Ezra say who gonna be took away. Second Ezra 13, 16 to 24. For as I conceive in mine understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days. Woe unto them that shall be left in those days. And much more woe unto them that are not left behind. You want to be left behind. You want to be left behind. For they that were not left were in heaviness. Now understand how the things which are laid up in the latter days, last days, which shall happen unto them and to those that are left behind. Therefore, they are come into great perils and many necessities, like as the dreams. Yet it is easier for him that is in danger to come into these things than to pass away as a cloud out of the world, and not to see the things that will happen in the last days. And he answered unto me and said, the interpretation of the vision shall I show you, and I will open unto thee the thing that thou hast required. Whereas thou hast spoken of them that are left behind, this is the interpretation. He that shall, them that are left behind, this is the interpretation. He that shall endure the peril in that time hath kept himself. Like Yeshua said, I'm going to keep you. They that be falling into danger, such as they have works and faith toward the Almighty. That's saying the same thing Revelation 14 and 12 say. What did it say? We almost done. Revelation 14 and 12. Here it is. He said, here's the 14 and 12. It said, here's the patience of the saints. Here are those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Yeshua. The meek gonna inherit the earth, brothers and sisters. Matthew 24, 36 through 44. Let's ask Yeshua. The thing with the Most High, the wicked is the ones that's always took away. The righteous get to stay. No one knows the day and hour, but of the day and hour, no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Yeshua said, I don't know, but my Father, he know. But as the days of Noah were, so shall be the coming of the Son of Man. For as in the days that they were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark. And they knew not until the flood came. The flood came and took them all away. So shall be the coming of the Son of Man be. It says, then two shall be in the field, then one taken, and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, and LGBT then took that to a whole nother level. The one shall be taken, and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not the hour which your Lord doth cometh, but know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. You got to watch. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Who then is that faithful and wise servant? Who is the Lord that hath made rule over his household and give it to him? Hold on. But you see it, guys. The wicked ones took away. Yeshua said, for what, you remember when he said, for where the carcass is, there shall the eagles be? The eagles take the wicked away. Their carcasses away. That's the marriage supper of the Lamb, which we didn't put in this class. We got a whole marriage of the supper. It ain't what you think. It ain't no 7-year eating supper in heaven. It's the Most High commanding all the beasts of the field, all the beasts and all the birds to carry away all of the wicked's bodies away. Go read Revelation. Let's see. It's Revelation chapter 21, I believe. Hold on. 19, not 21. Hold on. Revelation chapter, read the whole chapter of Revelation 19, but starting at verse 17 of Revelation 19, it tells you about all these birds and beasts. That's the marriage supper. That's the Lord's great supper. You don't want to be the food that's eaten. That's what I should say. Then you can read the same thing in Ezekiel chapter 39. But the church fathers, I ain't going to even read all these. You can pause on what you're saying. The main thing they saying is the church fathers, which was way before Manuel de la Cunza, Edward Irving, John Nelson Darby, Margaret McDonald. Way before them. I'm not going to read this, but all of them say, Victorinus, what'd he say? You going to be here. Cyprian, you going to be here. Hippolytus, you going to be here. Tertullian, you gonna be here. Irenaeus, you gonna be here. You can pause and read this all on your own. You gonna be here. Justin Martyr, you gonna be here. Martin Luther, he was way much after them. During the Protestant Reformation. When he took the 96 theses, 94, 96 theses, and tacked it on the Roman Catholic's door. Say, y'all pagan, we getting out of here. We reforming. We gonna start our own church. Martin Luther, he said, you gonna be here. Even the predestination man, John Calvin, he said, you gonna be here. That pre-tribulation rapture mumbo jumbo is some made up bulljive. Don't believe nothing I said today. Don't believe nothing I said today. Check it out for yourself. Go get this is only like $15. It's the best. It's cheaper now. I think I paid a little bit more for it. I don't remember what it was. But you gonna be here. Don't believe that stuff. Revelation 22, 12 through 17. It says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. But he said, behold, I'm coming quickly. Not the Balfour Agreement coming quickly. He taking true Israel to the land. Who would true Israel be? Bloodline descendants plus anybody engrafted in. Who they are? Do your research. You looking at one of them. But he says, and I believe all of you that are here today, you are too. It says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his command. Blessed. Cursed are they that don't. Blessed are they that do, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates of the city. New Jerusalem. So he can wipe your tears. You got fears, he gonna wipe your tears. He got a tissue for your issue. For on the outside of pedos and sorcerers and be on the lookout for that Halloween class. Woo-wee. We got some guests coming too. For without a dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. The pre-tribulation, that is a made up lie and people love it. I get it. It give you hope. You look out here in the world, it is scary. It's going to be a time where you can't buy and sell. Say if you have that mark. That's going to be a scary feeling. But guess what? Heaven ain't ran out of manna. It ain't ran out of manna. The heaven ain't ran out of angels to protect you. And it ain't ran out. Now, even if you do lose your life, but to be absent from the body is to be present with who? The master. For it says, and whosoever loveth and make a lie. You're going to be outside the city. I, Yeshua, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and offspring of David and the bright and morning star. And the spirit and the bride, they say, come on. And let him that heareth say, come. And let him that is athirst say, come. And whosoever will, let him take of the water of life freely. All right. Take care, Sister Zulma Bonte. Thank you, Maccabees as well. Wow. They gave y'all homework. Okay. But brothers and sisters, I told you I will have these ready. They're not ready, but they will be ready next week for everybody. These playbooks, with people that say the law done away with. We making a playbook, putting everything in there where you can defend the faith. Where you can show them, no, that ain't what this right here. Let's go here. It'll have you give you the topic and where you can what you say? Hold on, my playbook. Yeah, my playbook. Yeah. Oh no, let's turn here, brother. It's gonna be front and back. It might be 2 pages because it's getting pretty long. I'm going through my Bible. Brother Ronnie going through his Bible 1 page at a time, getting the best ones out of there. Getting the best ones. I'm getting the Spirit keep telling me, putting in my heart new stuff. I said, I got to put that in there. But it will be ready next week, though. But brothers and sisters, thank y'all for coming on out today. I did my best. I may have made a mistake here and there. But, I did my best as the Most High gave me the ability to do. I did what he gave me to say. And so, say that. We don't want that deleted. So thank you for coming on in. Love all of y'all. Oh, Mama J. Pope, I'm going to show you something too. The dispensationalism that they giving, you can, I'm going to email you the dispensations of man. I'm going to email it to you. If I don't do it today, I'll do it tomorrow. Thank you. Brother Louis Danez, it was a pleasure to see you, brother. It was a pleasure to see you. A great pleasure. Yeah. Love all of you guys. Sterling, you crazy, man. He said, mine ain't gonna be better than yours, brother. You could do the same. I ain't nobody. I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody. Brothers and sisters, thank you for coming on in. Go to rapministry.org, prayer request, Bible question. I'll get back with you as soon as possible. Comment, subscribe, share. Go out, be an ambassador for Yeshua HaMashiach today. tomorrow, all through the week. Go out victorious, and we'll see you guys next time. Hallelujah. Praying for you. Pray for me. Love you all. We are out. All praises, Sister Sheila, everybody. Yeah, don't forget to like it, y'all. See you guys next time. We are out. Has it ended yet? Well, I tell you, I've been having some technology problems. But since y'all still here with me, am I still talking on yours? Oh, so since I'm still here with y'all, I do not know why the stream has not ended yet.